Welcome back to my channel. My name's TheSimYin. My name is Yen. I play The Sims. Did you see what I did there? Okay, guys, and other simulation games, you know. Anyway, this is about The Sims. So anyway, guys, I've been getting asked so much, where do I get my CC from when it comes down to create a sim, and especially where do I get my loading screens? So I want to answer all of that for you guys. I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm going to be completely honest about where I get all of my stuff. And this is just the hopes and helps that it helps you. It's a lot of stuff that we're going to be breaking down, and I'm just going to need y'all to bear with me because I just go in and just like go crazy when it comes down to CC shopping and mod shopping and, you know, all that other jazz. But let me show you guys exactly where I get my loading screen first, because that's like the #1 question that I do get all the time. Right now I am under, and also everything that I'm mentioning, like any little link that you guys see that I'm actually like, oh, here's this page, it'll all be linked down below, okay, for you guys to click and, you know, see which one you want and all the other jazz. So the first one I do want to get into, she has a Patreon. It's called Starry Simsy. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I do get my loading screen from Starry Simsy. And I mean a bunch of other stuff as well as poses, but for the most part this is the loading screen that I do have. Here's an example of what it looks like actually in game when I'm actually playing it, and I think it looks really cute. Obviously I'm not like a huge anime, you know, person, but I really do like this loading screen background. And then loading screens just add something different to your game. It just makes it like more lively, I would say, because over time, over the course of The Sims 4, we have been getting the same things over and over and over and over, and to me it's just not fun. Like, it's just not, I don't know, I haven't found too much stuff with it. And I also want to talk about I just found like the Sims 4 one is actually kind of boring. You know, like once you switch, you're like not gonna want to go back. The second one I want to go into is like actually my Create a Sim background. Now, I absolutely love this one. There are so many different ones, and I'm gonna show you the other ones that I have on deck in case I do get tired of this one. But this one's from Little Dicka, and if you open it, it looks like basically the old school Sims 3, I believe, with the mirror in the back, and it has all this other stuff. Of course, I'm gonna do some. It has all this other stuff, and I just think it looks better in general, as far as like, I don't know, it just looks different, because I feel like everyone was fine with like the blue screen in the background, but over time it just kind of got played out. So there's other people that have like different stuff, like Goddess Games also has really cool ones. I think this is like really cute. Like, some people like all of this going on. Me personally, the more that's going on in the background, the more it's like hard for me to actually focus on the sim that I'm creating. So I do like it simple. I know some people just like straight up like just a solid color, which is cool too, but I like mine. I feel like it adds something to the table. This is from Goddess Games. Before we get into anything, I do want to get into the Stand Still and Create a Sim. Now, I do not have this mod in, but I know a lot of people who do. A lot of the EA Game Changers and just a lot of the simmers that we follow in general, a lot of them use this when they're creating a sim, because you know how sometimes often when you just have your sims for like, when you have your Create a Sim, they'll be moving around a lot, and like you just can't click something that you specifically want. Like maybe you want to do something with the eyes, and then they end up moving and making a gesture and all that stuff. This actually stops them from moving. Again, this will all be linked down below, and I think this is just actually, I mean, it's just pretty dope. I mean, come on now, like this is something that honestly they should have gave us to begin with. They should have gave us like an animation like checkbox, or whether or not we could click it on and off. But you know, for the purpose of this video, this is what it looks like, and it's just like they're just very still, you know, and some people like that. I don't mind the little animations. It doesn't bother me as much, but for some people it does, so there's that. And then the next one I want to get into is also Create a Sim column. So a lot of people always ask me, how is my Create a Sim column so big versus like that little narrow 2 boxes that they give you? That way I have like a more variety and a wider section of being able to like choose and click stuff. I do not know how to even pronounce this, but this is the name of the person who invented this, or not invented this, but this is the person who I believe I did download this mod from. Now, there's a lot of variations of different CCs and mods from different stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure someone else has a created column, and there's a lot of versions of different things, so it's up to you to decide which one you want to do. I believe this is the one that I used, and basically it just adds more items to, like, it just adds more columns to like when you're actually selecting things. That way you're not so like, you know, spending hours and hours and hours like scrolling through trying to find something exactly right. I do know they also have one for build and buy, and I'm gonna make a separate video on my whole CC and mods and build and buy, but that's completely different. Like, I want to do one for Create a Sim, one for build and buy, and then one for gameplay, so that way people can always stop asking me, because I just want to be able to revert back to this video and be like, this is what I use. Okay, the next one I want to get into is skin tones. Now, we all know skin tones was a big issue in The Sims 4, and I mean, Mirror actually did the damn thing when it came down to skin tones and gave us better ones. Now we do know the ones from The Sims 4 is actually pretty whack. Like, even with the update that they gave us when they were like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have even more skin tones with like warmer or cooler, I feel like the ones that we were given just weren't it either. And Mirror was actually one of the first people to like put out actual skin tones even before The Sims 4 did an update of more skin tones. And honestly, I still think they're better, and I use them over the regular skin tones from The Sims 4. Now again, if you do have console, I feel for you, and I'm so sorry, because that must be a struggle within itself. But this is, I'm telling you guys, this is what I use. I just feel like if you have a computer and you're able to download these and you have like gigabytes on your computer, I just advise, like, skin tone is something that's like so basic, but it'll literally make a difference when you're creating a sim, because it just makes it more like lively, you know what I mean? And then I also want to get into, so now like we're gonna get into the actual CC of it, and like when we're actually starting to, you know, download CC hair and all that other stuff, like lashes, makeup, all that jazz. So what I do, first and foremost, I want to just shout out this creator called CAS Match CC World. I mean, this literally has everything you could possibly think of. So when I first started and I was a beginner of CC and I didn't know the world that much, when I tell you, when I found this, I was just absolutely in shock, because it literally had everything. So you go to matchccworld.com, right? And then you click navigation, right? So once you're on the home, you go to, and then you go to navigation. Literally has everything you can think of, and basically shouts out other people, you know, has something to do with this. So this is not solely a creator. This is more of like a, think of it as a Sims resource, and I'm going to get into the Sims resource in a second, but this is basically another version of the Sims resource. And for the Create a Sim, they have like sections like, okay, accessories, goes down into even what you want, hats, earrings, necklace, kids accessories, female accessories, male accessories, because we all know that we all be freaking about the males when it comes down to Create a Sim. Let's be real. So for me, I have so much fun making female Create a Sims, but once I get into male, it's like, maybe because, you know, I'm not a male, I just don't understand like what exactly to do. Like, I don't know, like, I just don't have as much fun, you know what I mean? But anyway, so you click the earrings, and then like boom, shows you all different kinds of earrings from different creators, and it'll link everything down below. Like, I mean, this is stuff that's like actually revolutionary in my opinion when it comes down to The Sims and trying to find things, because you end up spending hours and hours and hours on just random stuff. And if you're also looking for like Max's Match, because I know a lot of people are not into alpha, this is the best bang for your buck. I'm telling you, like, go on this, and then this is your first time even doing CC, I highly recommend this, because it's just, I mean, it's chef kisses, to be honest. So the next thing I do want to mention is that when I go on to YouTube, because sometimes I can't find everything, I'm going to show you guys exactly the other creators that I do go to, but I'm just saying, in the event that you just are still looking, YouTube is your best friend. When I tell you, I found a lot of the CC creators that I follow now, or that I'm subscribed, or that I'm like on their Patreon all the time, this is how I find it. I go to other YouTube videos, which is exactly how you guys are finding me on this video. So it just helps to like look at other creators and not so be like one-sided within the niche of what you're looking for. Now, the next one I want to get into, hair. Now, when I did Create a Sim hair, I feel like it's very important for me to like, I want to be as diverse as possible with the hairs that I do download. Now, I do download majority of them to be like urban hairstyles, and like weaves and wigs and all that stuff like that, just because that resonates a little bit more to me, like especially with passion twist, box braids, knotless braids, you know, slick back, you know, invisible pony, you know, things like that. I personally download stuff like that because I do know that the ones in The Sims 4, it caters to more, you know, looser hair textures or ethnically ambiguous, and to me that wasn't enough. So this is who I follow. Simmer Blocks, I mean, has so many like hairstyles. Like, this is actually one of my favorite hairstyles that I've downloaded already. And then there's like all different kinds, and they also have male, and I just think it's awesome. Another one I want to get into is Aretha. I don't even know I hope I'm saying that right. But Aretha actually has great Max's Match content. If you're looking for like Max's Match hair, but you don't want to have it too alpha, perfect. I mean, and then all across the board, to be honest, very diverse when it comes down to the hairs, the earring, like the Create a Sim hairs. I do really love the hairstyles that they choose. I mean that I really do love the hairstyles. And then if you scroll down even more, like they have different varieties of like, you know, downloads. There's different varieties of like clothes and accessories and all that other jazz. So highly recommend this website as well. Another one I want to shout out is Baddie Sims. Baddie Sims has really good clothing. Now I know a lot of times that we have a hard time like actually downloading clothes and CCs and hairs, because sometimes when you put CCs on the clothes, when you put CCs on the Create a Sim, sometimes it tends to like look very stiff and very like unrealistic because of the motions of the animation of the Sims trying to match the clothes. And I feel like certain CC creators actually nail it when it comes down to actually having the clothes fit on the creator. On the Create a Sim. And this is one of, you know, the CC creators that I do love. It's Baddie Sims, and then there's also Black Sims. And honestly, I mean, it's chef kisses like to the T. I have majority of these hairstyles already in my game, as which you guys can see. And then I didn't really go in and show you guys some of the taller outfits that I do have, but I do have some of those as well. I think they're super cute. And then, you know, just in general, this is what I have. And then also let's go into Ebonok. Ebonok Sims, literally chef kisses. Now, a lot of the stuff you do have to be, you know, subscribed to the Patreon, but in the event, sometimes there's still like free ones, like this one I downloaded, and then there's like other ones, you know what I mean? Like not everything is like subscribed to, like you have to be Patreon only, because I know a lot of CC creators do that, but this is something that I do want to go in and show you. I think it's super cute and adorable. And then a lot of ones I want to go to is also Simmer Block, and I just actually showed you Simmer Blocks if I'm not mistaken. But also the Patreon, again, with the hair and catering to, you know, black hairstyles and all that. So I think this is dope. And then also we're gonna get into I also want to get into eyelashes, because for Create a Sim, so like it's very specific when I do my eyelashes, and I know this video is all over the place when it comes down to like the layovers of what you guys are seeing me actually make the Create a Sim. But honestly, lashes add so much realism, and you would think that we would have that already in the game. Something as simple as eyelashes. I mean, if they were gonna do spa day, I have no idea when they did the refresh, why did they stop at nails? Why didn't they do lashes? Like lashes is something that's so simple to have put in the game, and they didn't do it. That was like literally their moment to do it, and they didn't do it, and it just makes me so angry every time I think about it. But whatever. I'm not gonna let them control me. They're not gonna control me. But anyway, y'all. So I think probably saying this terrible, but Kajiko. I'm saying this probably terrible, but this is the website, and I'll actually leave it, of course, linked down below. But this is where I get a lot of my lashes. Now, I do get lashes from other websites, but I want to really heavily shout out this one in particular, because it tends to like be across the board when I come down to a lot of the other CC creators and CCs, or what they use, like when it comes down to Create a Sim. And now again, I do want to get into height sliders really quick. I know this is like smack dab in the middle of like, okay, this is after Create a Sim, and I should have did this probably a little bit before, but this is a height slider. And a height slider is basically what it exactly says. This is something that honestly, for me, should have been in the game originally. Like, I mean, from the very beginning when they dropped this game, I have no idea why we don't have height sliders. Now, we do know that the young adults and old Sims, I feel like they're all the same height, and it just makes me so angry, and it's just like, why are they all the same height? So this one is perfect, and I believe this is by the Lumia Sims. Of course, it'll be linked down below. Like I said, majority of everything that I'm talking about will be linked down below for you guys. But definitely goes into, you know, they have neck height sliders, you know, just things that we don't actually have in the game. To me, this makes an extreme difference when it comes down to being able to do certain things with your Sims, and definitely creating that like individuality of like having my Sims all look different with different shapes, because that's realistic. That's how you make your Create a Sim look different, when you're doing things that are not of the norm of what they already gave you in base game, because it's very hard to create that individuality in Create a Sim with just what we have, because of everything being so like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's how I feel. Anyway, I do want to get into complex Sims. Super dope. You can go into literally shop and download, and literally start going in. Now, majority of it is kind of catering into male and female, and I just like it because, especially with, again, like I say, my male Sims, they don't get no love. And so sometimes I have to go in and remind myself, oh snap, let me download some male CCs, because I always complain when I start to do my male CCs, like making their like boyfriends or fiancés or whatever, and just never works out, because I'm like, why don't I have options? It's just because I do not download stuff for that. So I started being more like conscious of when I'm doing my CC shopping and not being so girly girl. I'm like, okay, let me stop and let me go actually look at some male sims. This is, you know, for me personally. So, and then there's other options, obviously. And then I also want to get into catastrophe sims. Now, I do want to mention that this is like more of like, you know, on the children's side of things. Also caters to adults, but like this is where I get a lot of my kid CCs as well. I mean, how adorable is this? Like how like this is so freaking cute. Now, I didn't go in with my Sims 4 like create a sim like for the kids. I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. But I do just want to quickly show, like, again, it's that maxes match. For the kids, I do tend to go very maxes match rather than trying to just make something, like, I don't know, for some reason, like, when kids are too alpha, it just, like, I don't know, the game looks weird to me. But this is another person who I go to. Okay, now this is also plutosims.tumblr. Also has a couple of other things, like some build and buy, but for the most part I see a lot of create a sim and I see a lot of poses. This is perfect for you guys if you guys are interested in that as well. And then now I do want to get into poses. Now some people do have poses in their Sims 4 game where, like, when they're doing create a sim, sometimes people literally have channels just for create a sim, or some people only have the Sims 4 literally just to create sims. Like, they don't even care about the gameplay or like all that other jazz. And that's okay. Now, personally, this is some of the people where I get my poses from, but I do know that people have poses in game so that when they're doing a creative sim, if they're doing a thumbnail and stuff, they'll have poses within the game. Some of these people do have it, some of them don't. I don't do it. I usually do poses like for my thumbnails, but like inside of game, if that makes sense. Atashi77.tumblr.com. This is what I use some of the poses here. I mean, super dope, very simple. I mean, these are so cute. Now, of course, people are like, how do you get the baby to be that small? That's where you have to download a CC mod. I didn't know that for a while, but you grab a toddler, put it in the outfit you would want, and then you shrink it, and then you go into game, take the pictures, and then go back into creative sim and unshrink them and then make them a taller size again. So I didn't know that because I was like, how are they doing these newborn photo shoots? Like, because I thought these were so cute, but I was like, how the hell are they doing that? Because we don't do that with freaking newborns. But that's why, because, you know, we can't really control, like, we can't tell a newborn to like go here, teleport here, and do this pose. You know what I mean? But super cute poses. I think all these poses are absolutely adorable, personally. And then I do want to get into Rap Boy Sims. Now, hisses with these freaking poses. I love all. Actually, most of my thumbnails, like, will probably come from this pose. Like, I love, like, first of all, the aesthetic of the freaking website. Let's talk about it. But all of these are super, super cute. Now, of course, this is like completely like separate from what I'm actually talking about when it comes down to creative sim. Hello, there you go. So you can see some of these poses being made. I mean, and even very, like, very specific. It can even go down to like pregnancy poses, selfie poses, like, you know, like the your partner or anybody hanging out, you and your friends. There's the warmth pose. I love the warmth poses with the kids. It's super adorable. The yoga one is really cute for like spa day, you know, if they're starting yoga for the first time, getting into that mindset. I love this one. The lover, the siblings pose is absolutely adorable too, because if you want to create a sim, or like maybe they're going onto a park and stuff like that and you want to take that picture and be able to do it, super cute. Rap Boy Sims. It's gonna be Fluffy Frog. Now Fluffy Frog has all different kinds of stuff, like hair, genetics, you know, even like a separate one for alpha, and you can also go maxes match. Super dope. Very specific about the way the layout is. And of course, we all know that skin overlays actually just make a huge difference with things. And one of the people where I do get some of the skin overlays that I do is this one as well. So we can even go down into genetics. It's just like a whole line of very specific things. You know, it's just like very specific things that wouldn't, like, the Sims 4, they don't do. Like, we all know, like, when two Sims have a baby, even when they're the same ethnicity and you try to have a baby, the genetics is like, you literally have to go back into creative sim and be like, what the hell? Like, this was absolutely nothing like I don't know what they're doing, what their machine, what their render is doing. But it's the last thing I want to get into, guys, before we end this video, is I want to talk about YouTube. Again, I want to explain that so much. YouTube is going to be a lifesaver when it comes down to your CC folder and having that be like majority of like how it just looks better, you know what I mean? So definitely advise YouTube, do not hesitate to do research and do things that, you know, you just find like, you know, don't hesitate to just basically do your research. But anyway guys, that is basically the video that I have for Create a Sim. Again, a lot of these will be linked, but also I do want to mention that there are so many more people that I did not mention, and you'll be able to see them actually into the column section when I'm going down and I'm scrolling through hairs and things like that. Definitely want to shout out these people because I mean, honestly, there's so many. Like, I can literally go, the list goes on and on and on and on and on about how many people I go to for CC. I don't go to one specific creator or 5 specific creators. I go to like whichever one looks right, I'm downloading it if it looks good. You feel me? So yeah, that's a whole separate video. But anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and please let me know if you guys have any other option or any other suggestions of where you guys also get your CC, because again, I'm always shopping and I'm always looking. So if I didn't mention someone that you get your CC from and you feel like you have the similar taste, please let me know down below in the comments, or leave a link or send me their name, because I would be very interested in looking at their stuff. Also guys, if you guys aren't already subscribed, you're on the road to 5K, and I'm so very excited about that because y'all, it's been a long road, but we almost there. Okay, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.